Hello everyone, let's go ahead and take a look at the distributive property. The distributive property states this: if A, B, and C are numbers, then A times the quantity B plus C equals AB plus AC. And notice again that that's multiplication as well. Now another way that you could go ahead and write that as well is BA plus CA. Okay? Now, one thing that you should have noticed when I actually read that was how I used the term quantity. So it says A times the quantity B plus C. So the term quantity actually refers to the parentheses or the grouping symbol that we're using to represent one particular quantity which is made up of two terms, okay, being added together. Now the one thing that we need to be very, very careful with, and I see this often, is that you don't want to confuse this with this particular situation and think that you need to use the distributive property here, because you should not. This says A times it by the quantity BC. Well, that's just the same thing as ABC. Remember that the only time that the distributive property is applicable is when the quantity has two terms that are either added or subtracted from each other. Okay, let's take a look at a couple of examples here. So I have negative 2 times the quantity 3k plus 1. Notice that I'm distributing the negative 2 to both the 3k and the plus 1 term. And so basically I'm going to be using this form right here. And so the b in this case is the 3k. The a, of course, which is what's being distributed, is the negative 2. And so I got the 3k minus 2 plus the 1, which in this case is the c, times it by the number that I'm distributing, which is negative 2. So I come up with negative 6k minus 2. Okay, we do the same thing here. Notice that even though this looks a little bit more complex, the basic idea is still the same. This right over here, which is what I'm distributing, is equal to, in this case, negative 4a. This value right here, or b, is this particular term here, which is 3a minus 3ak. And the c is actually going to be the minus 2ap. So then when I go ahead and I distribute the negative 4a, I take b, which is the 3ak, which is 3ak, and multiply it by the a, which in this case is going to be the minus 4a, plus the c, well in this case it's a minus 2ap, again times it by the value of a, which is what I'm distributing, which is minus 4a. And what I can do is I can simplify each one of these terms. So I have this term and I have this term. So this becomes negative 12a squared k plus 8a squared p. Okay, and we'll take a look at just one last one. This one, of course, is going to be a little bit more complex. And when you take a look at this, how many terms do you have? Well, if we take a look, this part right over here is all multiplied together. And so in this form here, we have this term minus this term. So really there's only two terms. Okay? When we go ahead and change its form by distributing, and if I distribute, I come up with this form here. If I simplify, notice that what I come up with is negative 2a squared plus 2a minus 2a squared plus 3a. Now how many terms are here? Well, there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. But remember when we said that if we want to simplify expressions, we should always combine like terms. And in this case, we have like terms. This is a like term with this term. This is a like term with that term. And so notice what I come out is negative 4a squared plus 5a. So there you go. That's how we go ahead and use the distributive property to go ahead and simplify algebraic expressions. So we'll take a look at more examples in class the next time that we meet. So until then, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.